Thanks for popping in here. And welcome to It's Not. What are we calling this? That's right. It's supposed to do that.
It's supposed to do
Clever name, right?
that.
Kind of a play on both of our taglines. I'd like to kind of before we get started here, kind of talk briefly about because I think it ties in a little bit, like how I met you, and so just some backstory for you guys. Back This has been years ago now. What would you say, like 4 years ago, maybe
Yeah, I would say
something
so.
like that?
Yeah.
Back like 4 years ago, I was doing my thing. I had a pretty solid grasp on Instagram, but that's pretty much the only platform I was messing around with at the time. And I didn't know it because I wasn't on TikTok at the time. But Trey had a firm hold on TikTok over there and was killing it over there. And then somebody kind of got on one of my, because this is one of the things, we'll get into this a little bit later. But one of the things that we deal with, is people that will people and their opinions on the internet, right? A lot of that. And so somebody gave me their opinion and they were like, hey, you're ripping off the That Ain't Right guy. I said, I'm sorry, I don't know who you're talking about. And I pushed them because I didn't know who they were talking about. And they were like, well, he's on TikTok. I said, well, see, I'm not on TikTok. And so but you were on Instagram, just not, you weren't really doing a whole lot there. I literally
No.
wasn't on TikTok at all. And so once they kind of explained who you were, I looked you up, and so then I called Trey right away. Uh, um, and it's because it's not for any reason. First of all, I looked him up and I realized he's in my backyard. I live in Spring, Texas. You live in Tomball, Texas. We're not that far apart. Like we're half an hour or so apart. We work in the same area. We were doing some similar stuff online, and I didn't call for any reason. Like, the guy that was kind of on me was mad because he said I ripped you off. Like it, and
Right.
I wasn't calling to discuss that or anything. I just was like, hey, let's be friends.
Right. Right.
And you were familiar with me, and we've kind of just been friends ever since. And
Yeah,
so,
man.
through social media, we've met in person several times. Oddly enough, um, it's harder for us even being in the same
Yeah, the first
proximity.
time we met, we was doing a house right next to each other, and
That
so
was a
I
total
saw
accident.
him, and we saw each other like, "What's up, man?"
Yeah. Yeah, it was a total accident. We knew each other at the time,
Yeah.
but anyway, so we've become friends, and it's been good. We bounce kind of ideas and things off of one another and talk shop, and really just kind of call every now and again just to catch up, because we're friends out there kind of doing the same thing. And I got a lot of friends in the industry. I know you do too. I just like to keep up with people and keep that camaraderie amongst us as inspectors. But today isn't really, and I've said this, I don't know, I know we got a lot of inspectors in here in the chat, and if I see any questions come in, I will try to get to those. I know you will too, Trey.
Mhm.
But I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier in some videos that I put out. This is about social media marketing, but not necessarily home inspection social media marketing. I mean,
Okay.
naturally, I'm an inspector, you're an inspector. We're going to touch on all that kind of stuff for sure. But more than anything, it's just about social media marketing. What's funny is me and Trey, just like we do from time to time, we had a phone call about 2 days ago. And we were just talking about, well, how are we going to do this? What are we going to talk about? We were on the phone for about 15 minutes.
Mhm.
And we knew about 5 minutes into that phone call that we needed to limit what we were saying because basically we did the whole show. We just have so much fun talking about this kind of stuff.
Right.
And so we kind of, we at one point we were like, all right, let's just stop talking and just go. So we got like a loose plan of what's going to go on today. We're going to try to field some questions, but for the most part, we're just going to kind of let it rip because we like doing this stuff together.
Right, right. And then I wanted to do this because both of us are passionate about social media marketing, and so this is really like if you have a business and you're not on social media marketing, why?
For sure.
Why not?
For
So
sure.
the first thing I wanted to really talk about, I think one of the main thing is the impact on business. I think it's a misconceived idea that you have to have all these followers. You have to have hundreds of thousands of followers before it actually impact your business. And I started off with TikTok, and when it wasn't that long, TikTok kind of blew up, and then business started coming. So you don't have to have. First of all, my business is 99.9% from social media.
Right.
You gotta call me, I'm your biggest fan. I seen you. And then it's referrals too. So everybody now on social media. So sometimes my cousin who brother saw your video, said to me, he said, I should hire you. And
Right.
they don't have, knew no idea or on that platform, TikTok or nothing. So the impact hits soon and quick. When you put out a video, especially like TikTok, I don't know about the other ones, but they send a video around your area, people around you, which is great for business.
Yeah, it works
Because
super
that's,
fast. Yeah.
yeah, that's what you try to do, try to get business around you. So they send it around you. And so with that, like I said, early on, it hit my business started coming social media. How did it work for you?
Well, I think the first thing that I got to say for that is that like that was my goal, and I think
Hmm.
that's one of the points I want to drive home today is that if you're trying to if you're here in this webinar trying to figure out how to get social media famous, this ain't the webinar for you. That's really, I mean, I never had any intention of things getting as big as they did for me. All I wanted to do, I had two goals. One was increase my business for my company, get more jobs. And two, I had an ancillary goal of trying to increase awareness and kind of give some a different look on the industry as a whole. So, like, I
Hmm.
wanted to try to affect the industry as a whole, and I wanted to really do bring in get connect with realtors, really mostly realtors, and that would bring me business and jobs. Like that was
Hmm.
my goal, and so um, that's what I started to do. I just started to try to find realtors and connect with them. Whatever platform I was using, I was connecting with as many realtors as possible because I feel like it's how social media works.
Yeah.
If we start talking about this coffee cup right here, it's going to come up in your feed tomorrow.
Exactly.
And
If
so,
you think about it,
yeah,
it
yeah,
comes
you just
right
think
up.
about it. And so I try to connect with as many realtors as possible and let that kind of feed on itself. And then like I say, the whole goal was to just get as many jobs, get those calls to come in. And so, I never really sought out any type of like goal other than that.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, eventually it did come to the point where most of my jobs came from social media. But see, like in the beginning, I don't think it was like that at all. I
Yeah.
will say, and you probably because you've been doing this a while in terms of home inspection itself, I had a pretty good solid line of business coming in before I ever made a social media video. I mean,
Hmm.
it was, or I guess before anything really started to work on social.
Hmm.
It took a while to really gain some traction.
Right.
I mean, but with that being said, I mean, I started making videos, and I guess that's probably a lot of people out there wondering, like, well, what can I do? How do I do it? Where do I get started? Well, and I think you just get started. I mean, you just have to grab the camera, point it at yourself, and hit record.
Yeah. One that too long ago, I think I posted one of my first videos, and it was painful to do. But the reason why I did it was to show people like it didn't start out like that.
Yeah,
It starts out real rough. Just
you
like
gotta.
home inspections when we first did our first house, it was rough. It was scary. So
Yep.
it's like a muscle. It's like working out. And this is one problem when people do social media. They look forward to work right now.
Yeah.
Put out a video, said, man, the thing didn't work. I put out a video once every week for a whole week, and it didn't work. Same thing. When you go to the gym, and some people might, as soon as they get through lifting some weight, they look in the mirror and flex, trying to
Yeah.
see what difference. It takes time. It doesn't
It
work
does.
like that.
It's not
So
immediate.
no, this is something that you have to keep doing over and over and over consistently before you can start to see that growth, before you start to see change.
Yeah,
The
it's a
other
it's a
the
long game. You got to play the long
Oh,
game.
definitely,
You got to get into it knowing that.
definitely. And the other thing is like you are practicing, you're learning. So when you start doing it, and for anybody who's out there that haven't done one video and posted it, I tell people this: don't why you concerned? Nobody's gonna see it. Nobody.
Your mom's gonna watch.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that's kind of it's kind
Instagram.
of I hate that they do that because it's the people that you know, and so
Yeah.
now when people do a video, they're like, "Oh, what my agent gonna say?" And people say,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I saw your little
They're
video."
gonna support you. The only people that are gonna be watching you in the beginning are people that are gonna support you anyway. And so get
Right.
out there. And that's where you like start to develop your style and start to cut your teeth and start to get a little bit more comfortable.
That's
Here's the
right.
thing. And I think we gotta say this, right? Because if you're looking for the magic sauce here, a lot of the stuff that we're gonna tell you today, you're gonna be like, well, I know that seems so simple. And it's like, really it is.
Mhm.
Okay. I mean, it really there's two major things I think that we probably will say multiple times in this webinar today. One is consistency. It already came up once. Okay, consistency. The other one is going to be authenticity. You got to be yourself in front of the camera, and you got to do it a lot. And that isn't easy for everybody, but it becomes easier the more you do it. And so the more you get yourself out there and kind of start that process. And then when you start to gain some traction, people start to pay attention to you. It's part of it is because you've become more comfortable and become more entertaining on the camera.
Mhm.
And then the other part of it is because you've just been consistent. And so your stuff's just getting out there and getting seen by more people. And
Right.
eventually, if you do a lot of stuff right, you end up with a relatively large audience. But the thing is, it doesn't matter if you have 500,000 followers or if you have 500 followers. I think it's Joey that said that exact line, Joey Peak. Um, as long as you have the right followers, right? So if you're
Right.
trying to get in here and increase your business, you need to find a way to focus on those people that
Right.
matter that you might get business with. And so if you're going to be putting out this stuff, I don't know if you still go into real estate offices, and you used to do that, right? Do you still do that?
I used to.
Yeah, I don't do it anymore. Actually, I
No.
went to a real estate event last night, but it was like a happy hour thing,
Right, right, right,
like,
right.
and I do every once in a while, I do one of those type things, but I haven't been in a real estate office in years. I
And
liked it.
to tell
I
you the
kind of
truth,
miss it, to be honest with you. But
uh, t
whatever situation you're in, you got to connect with those people and try to connect with them on social media so you can extend that. They can continue to see what you do. I
right.
think when me and Trey were talking a couple days ago, a word got brought up that we felt like we really needed to like push in here. Do you remember that word?
I don't know what was it.
Relevance. I wrote it down.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Relevance.
yeah.
So just like anything else, right? Like real estate agents, that's mainly your target whenever you're getting started, is real estate as an inspector. But
Mhm.
whoever it is, if you're not in real estate, then you're going after a target audience of some sort. And the thing is, you have to stay relevant. And how do you do that? By making sure that they see you. They're if it's inspection you're pushing, then it's like I'm the first inspector you see when you open up your phone. I'm the last one you see when you put it down. And
Mhm.
so that's why I'm putting out consistent content can really help keep you relevant in the industry.
Right. And one thing I wanna say about the content, don't put out content, this is for the inspectors, that's obvious. Okay, you go in and then the people, they open up the cabinets, "Oh, we don't have the ductwork for the kitchen exhaust." That ain't right. You know what I'm saying? What you're trying to do is show your skill set,
Yeah.
trying to show that you're knowledgeable. And so you don't want to do videos that anybody else could see. Like, well, why would I hire a inspector? I can see that. I go to the cabinet and see that. So you want to show things that they don't know or they might not know. And that's how you build your social media and people start to call you. Not that, some people just say, I'll just do a video and it'll be simple stuff. No, you need to be finding things that most
Yeah.
people don't know.
I agree, but on another level, and here's the cool part: like we don't all have to agree. Me and Trey,
Mhm.
we're good friends, but we don't. We actually see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, but not necessarily everything. And I don't fully agree completely with that because it depends. Like it depends on your audience. Now, I think maybe you're right to some degree, especially in the beginning. I know that like now with the audience that I have, I like to entertain a broad audience. And so
Mhm.
sometimes there's a ton of people out there that like watching my content, but they actually don't know anything about homes aside from what
Mhm.
I tell them. So I can show a picture. And I used to do this, I hadn't done this in a long time. I used to do like some a question. I'd put up a video or a picture of something real fast and see if people could comment what was wrong in the picture. And it might be like
Right.
a missing handrail to a stairway,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's like simple, but
Right.
people could relate to that. Because they'd be like, "Oh, I know that," and they'd
Right.
actually
Right.
answer it. Whereas if I put it like a missing sediment trap on a gas line, like, yeah, you might get a couple of HVAC or a couple of plumbers like
Right.
mention
Right.
that, but not many people. A couple of things came in real quick. I think we should address. Uh, um, uh, I think it's Narius and Dennis. Both have a similar question here. How do your clients look at you when you're recording videos during inspection? One, and then someone says, "Be careful. A local inspector wanted to be funny." Uh, uh, Wanted to be the funny inspector, and he showed a client's home that could be identified. Realtors quit using him and had a state complaint agents involved. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go with the latter first, right?
Hmm.
100%, you guys. If you're going to be filming inspection related content, this definitely works really well if you're a realtor as well. Don't do anything that identifies the house. Don't show the house number. If there's any pictures or anything in the background of people or their kids or any type of identifying marker, don't do that. I've actually gone through. There's been ways. Technology has gotten really good. If you look, editing videos, you actually don't have to be very good at it. I mean, you can just avoid that kind of stuff that I'm talking about, and you don't have to worry about editing it. But if you're interested in editing videos, I use InShot and CapCut. What do you use?
CapCut.
These programs are pretty easy to grasp, and the more you do it, just like making content, the more you do it, the better you get at it, and your video is going to get a whole lot better if you start working on editing. But it isn't required. So don't feel like that's a necessary. You don't have to be good at editing. You can put out content and get to your target audience. You don't have to. But if it's
Hmm.
something you want to do, I use editing. I'll blur out some things that I don't want people to see sometimes, because technology has gotten to the point where you can do that very easily. But most of the time, I'm taking my video from an angle that wouldn't give any identifying markers,
Yeah.
and that is very important. And another thing on that topic, I don't know if you do this. I do this. I do not post things real time. When I
Mm.
take a video, it might be in a house with a real estate transaction going on. You're not going to see that video tomorrow. If I filmed it today, you're not going to see it tomorrow. You're not going to see it next week. Matter of fact, it's going to be a month, easy,
That's me.
before
That's
you
a
see it.
month.
One of those things, because I don't have time to edit it, but
Hmm.
mostly I don't want it to go out because I don't want it to possibly infringe on any deal. You have got to be respectful of that
Hmm.
if you are going to be successful at doing this. If you're not going to make everybody mad. And then the
Right.
first part of that was Dennis's comment, and you're very right about that, Dennis. And so Nereus says, how do clients look at you when you're recording videos during inspection? You go ahead and take that one. I got some thoughts on that one too.
So I usually don't record with clients
Me
there.
too.
I try my best not to. And one time, the clients was there, and I was still working, and I saw something. It was the one with the hot water in the toilet. I
Yeah.
was like, and every time the client, did you make a video? I was like, did y'all want a video? Well, you got one. And a lot of times when I see something, I'll keep going, inspecting, and just let it play in my mind, see how I want to shoot it.
Yeah.
And so the part when they went outside, I was like, oh, good time to shoot. Boop, shot it. They came back. Oh man, we missed it. I wanted to see it. One reason why I do that, because it's easier to be myself.
100%.
It's easier to be myself. I don't like people looking at me doing my thing or whatever it is. I'm just want to be authentic myself. Whatever I come up with, what I come up with. What about you?
Oh, 100%. I feel there's times where I have to film publicly. I did a video. It's actually, what time is it? Comes out in about 30 minutes. It's a promotion that I did, some branded content I did with a company, and I dressed in a Santa suit, and I had to kind of be in a public parking lot when I did it.
Right.
And this is last week. The most nerve-wracking thing ever, and I've been doing this a long time, but
Mhm.
it's like I still don't really feel that comfortable around doing it in front of people. I don't even feel comfortable doing it in front of my family. I mean, my
Right.
son's in my videos sometimes, but like
Mhm.
my wife helps me with some stuff sometimes, but it's like I'm not 100% comfortable with that even. It makes me feel this nervousness that takes me out of my comfort zone, and then I don't come off authentic. And so I
Right.
very much try to be alone whenever I'm doing this stuff. It helps me a lot. If I'm not alone, I will usually choose to not do the video, or I'll take the video and put some voiceover on it later. Because yeah, I just don't I don't have that comfort whenever people are around. So I do definitely try to limit that for sure.
Yeah, and also for the inspectors that think about, well, man, I'm already doing inspection. I'm there hours already. Now I got to shoot content. How much time that's gonna be? So,
It's time consuming at first.
yeah, it is. It is. And so, but once you keep doing it, you get
Yep.
faster. Like I don't do second takes pretty much. You know,
No.
you'll see my videos. You'll see I say the wrong thing. I say a word wrong or whatever. I just keep going because I like you guys. I don't have time to. We're not sitting here trying to make a production here.
Yeah.
Trying to do this inspection.
Yeah, and editing helps with that too. So, just
Mhm,
some tips on editing. If you want to do this stuff and you want to get into editing, one of the best ways to deal with that is to not stop, right? Like,
mhm,
so if you're saying something and you say it wrong, oh no, you just redo it. Just say it again,
mm,
the way you want to do it, but don't go and hit stop on the camera. Just say it again, and
mhm,
you can splice things together. I do this. I don't do this a lot for my reels and stuff, but I end up doing it a whole lot on my long format YouTube content. Okay,
mhm,
because I'll say something, and it might be that I'm talking for a minute, and so like if I'm talking about a subject for a minute. There's a couple of things. There's B-roll footage that goes on over it. So I might be speaking about a leaking drain. And while I'm talking about it, I overlay an image of that leaking drain. Well, what
mhm,
happens is when I overlay that image, that allows me to adjust the video so I can take out the ums or the the hesitations that I had, and I can make it flow a whole lot better. You learn to do this in the editing process where and you can even do it like even without an overlay. So if I said something and then all of a sudden I said and I wanted to continue, I could go back and take that out. I could just remove it from the video. And now when you're watching the video, it's like it feels like there's like a speed bump in the video because
mhm,
all of a sudden you remove part of it. All you do is just zoom in on your face a little bit
mhm,
on the second frame, and all of a sudden that speed bump goes away. If you
mhm.
trim it just right,
You won't even
all of a
see
sudden
it.
that speed bump goes away and you get this zoomed in image and it can really make you flow a lot better. So that can
Let's see.
help if you're nervous and you don't talk well when you're nervous, then get good at editing because you can
Yeah,
fix all of that in there. But anyway, I don't even remember where I was at, but I know that I wanted to give some tips on editing for sure.
yeah, my
What okay, what AI editor are you using? AI, I don't really, I mean, I don't really use AI much. I use ChatGPT for captions and stuff sometimes, but that's about it. I use InShot and I use CapCut. And
mhm.
Trey uses CapCut. That's about what we're doing. Let's see, how many inspectors do y'all have? How many inspectors do you have in your company? I got two besides myself. What are you doing, Trey, these days?
Yeah, I got, 1 well, 2, and then we're gonna start training somebody else beginning of the year for sure.
Excellent. So it's yourself and two more.
No,
You got
yeah,
three, but you're three inspectors out there in the field.
mhm.
All right, now it's our webinar. How are you feeling about that, Trey? Because I got the same thing going on. How's your business is? I know it's some growing pains trying to get
Oh, yeah,
people
man.
to have someone besides yourself go out there and do the work. Is that going well? You feel like you got the business to support it and everything?
Oh, yeah, it takes time for
Mhm.
sure, a lot of training to make sure they doing what you do. And with you and stuff like that. But it takes time. But as keep doing it, then they get better. I go over the reports all the time. So I'm
Yeah,
looking at the reports. I'm like,
yeah.
pretty good.
I got one guy that I'm still looking at his reports and one guy that's just doing it. So okay, so this question came in. I'm gonna toss this one to you because it says, "Is TikTok where you saw the most growth and engagement in your audience?" Fabian asked that.
Yeah.
For me, it's not. Instagram is what hit for me, but I know you had TikTok, so I thought you might want to take that.
Yeah, let me hit that real quick. TikTok was the the one that popped off quick for me in the early. And so I think you should do it's a four-headed beast, right? I think you should do all of them. You
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
of course, we learned that. So I
Yeah.
think you should do all of them. So what happened when TikTok went off, and then you just put your attention to that. And so, oh shoot, you just do TikTok. But now I'm at the point where the ones that's the hardest are the ones that's getting more views. I got more views on every TikTok is my lowest one now. It's the lowest views. So YouTube is hard, you know.
Yeah.
Instagram was hard for me in the beginning, but now those platforms are have more views than the TikTok. So just don't go with the easiest one. Don't look for the easiest one and go for that. Like do all of them and just
I
stay
agree.
consistent, and they'll pan out for you.
I agree. They seem to come and go. I usually don't experience much in terms of growth on one platform and another one at the same time. And so, it's important that we, kind of spread it out amongst all the platforms because you never really know what you're going to have. It's different audiences on all of them, and so you don't know really what is going to work on different platforms. Somebody asked what kind of equipment we use and how long we spend creating content. Do you have someone recording you on site? This guy's name is Sam. What's up, Sam? Sam Morris. My son's name is Sam, so I like that name. My dad's name was Sam.
Oh man.
So I like this. I like this question. Uh, um, I did want to touch on because you can have people edit, you can pay people to edit your content for you.
Mhm.
And I think it can get a little bit expensive, even though there's some people out there that do it relatively cheap. I've had a couple of them done um, just because I want to try them out. I got people that message me all the time. They're like, "Hey, we'd like to do some editing for you." They'll usually toss you one for free, and I've used a couple of them for a couple of things, and I'll just toss them raw clips and let them throw them together. But honestly, they've never really done much that I felt like I couldn't do myself because I've just been doing it a long time. And so, in order for me to use you consistently, I either got to be super pressed for time or super impressed with your work. And I wasn't either one of those at the time. So I just kind of continue to do the editing myself. But as far as equipment, um, I film my content in the field with my phone. I rarely use, hold on, where is it? Here it is. Hold on. I bought one of these
Yeah, me.
recently.
Oh,
A couple months ago. I bought a
oh
DJI
yeah.
Osmo Pocket 3.
Yep.
Um, I mainly use this for YouTube stuff because I
Mhm.
do long format, like 10, 15, 20-minute videos for YouTube. And I use my phone for all my short reels and stories and stuff like that. I really like this camera. It does have some limitations as far as like it ain't like filming with your phone. It's on a
Right.
gimbal, and so like it doesn't move the same as a phone. So you got to get used to it a little bit. But film's really good in low light, and so I like that. I do occasionally when I'm doing the long format stuff use my drone to get some
Mhm.
video footage to add to that. But mainly, and I think really most of what we're probably talking to, most of the people we're probably talking to here are people that are going to make short format. And when I say that, I mean anywhere from 30 to 3 minute videos. And when you're doing that, I don't think you need to use anything but your phone.
That's it.
A
Use what you
microphone. I'm
got.
sorry, a microphone's good. You use a microphone too, right?
That's the only thing I would do. I would buy my invest in a good mic. That way you can talk and people can hear you.
A tripod too is probably a good idea. I got I've got a set of DJI mics and I've got a
Mhm.
tripod here. Um, I was doing some videoing earlier, so I have it all like right here. I'll show everybody what I use. So it's a compact tripod. It can hold my phone in whatever orientation I want. Of course, extendable. It's got the legs down here. It's also got a remote, so I can just remote start it. Really easy to use, really compact, fits in my gear. So I do carry this. I use it occasionally. Use my phone and then the DJI mics. But I mean, you got anything else going on other than that?
No, my thing is keep it simple.
Yeah,
If you're a musician, it's a thing called kiss rule. Keep it simple. You know the other part.
I know
But
that very
I
well.
I have my mics. I have a pocket right here. I have the DJ mics in there right there. I have bought things, but I don't use it because I gotta go get it. It's
Yeah.
not carrying around me. So Go with what you got. The camera that you have on your phone is good. It's
Yeah,
good
even
enough. You
older
don't
iPhone,
need
still good.
still good. Just if you not posting because of that, then when you get the good stuff, you still not gonna post. You're still not gonna do it. It's just an excuse. So just go with what you have and start from there. Um, like I said, the mic is good because you don't have to project your voice. Because a lot of times in my beginning video, people like, I can't hardly hear you, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
you don't have to force talk louder and you can talk normal and natural. So
Yeah, the mic was one of the best steps I ever took. I remember when I bought it and I had that, I already had a tripod, I think, or maybe I just set my phone somewhere, but it allowed me to have the same volume whether I was here or when I got up and walked over here, you know what I mean?
right,
The volume was the same and it
right.
really helped change the way I was putting content together. Now, they asked how long do you spend creating content? Not long in the field.
You
The now when I do long format YouTube stuff, I need 30 extra minutes. Because I need to film a lot of stuff and then a lot of B-roll. But if we're not talking about that and we're just talking about short form reels and stuff, um, it's fast, very fast
Oh
in the
yeah.
field. I
Oh yeah.
do a little bit of editing when I come home. My problem is that I can't find the time to do that when I get home, so I batch it, and I end up like editing like 10 or 12 videos at once, like at some
Mhm.
point during the week, hopefully, or maybe a month later or something like that. How much?
This is
I mean, you're not spending much time out there doing it.
no, this is my thing. Try to limit editing as much as possible. So try to shoot in a way where you don't have to edit.
Yes.
There's a lot of people got a lot of videos that they have recorded and they haven't posted it because they have to edit. And they're
Yeah.
like, I got to do the editing and stuff like that. So you want it as simple as possible. Shoot it simple, and so you can edit it. The main thing you want to do is get used to is record, hit the record button, and then hit the post button.
Yeah.
So all that in between
I
there,
love how simple you make it.
that's right. That's it. Everything's in between there.
It's
You want
true.
to make it little as possible.
Yeah, it's very true. So I mean, like, yeah. Okay, let's tear that apart a little bit because I feel like that's something that people really need to know. You said something. You said something that was golden. And it was don't film things in a way that you don't have to do much editing.
Mhm.
Can we tear into that a little bit? Like, what does that look like? What would you describe that as? Is there an example?
So, like I said before, when then I go over it. So I'm just not freestyling. I am freestyling, but I kind of know what I want to talk about or what I want to say and how I want to do it. So when I record, I'll say something, and with the through CapCut, I just hit that button and it stops, pause it, record again. And so it's like clips all in there.
Okay.
And so I could say what I want to say, stop, think of something else, boom. Okay, short, flip my camera over here, show this. That reminded me of like seeing some of the people just getting started. They're like, look at this. Y'all see this? Hold on, let me flip my camera around. It just takes too much time. So it's stopping in between and making clips. So now I got all those clips. And so I don't really have to go back and, cut stuff out and things like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what that looks like for me because I know I do it and I've even preached it before. I'm just trying to figure out what it looks like for me because I think I'm just like so lost in like my regimen. Um,
Mhm.
I do think that like I think that once you start making content, you start to have an idea of how it's going to come together a little bit better, and so
Mhm.
it allows you to film things in a way that that you can. Uh, have less editing because you've put the thought into it, the forethought
Right.
into it. I think that there's something to that. But yeah, overall, I think. Look, I can't say that I don't spend a lot of time making videos, but it's because I make a lot of videos. I mean, just go on any of my pages and see. It shows you how many times I've posted. I make a lot of videos and post them across multiple platforms. And so it's all relative, right? And I do think that everyone should do a lot because the more you
Mhm.
do it, the better you get and the more consistent you're gonna get, all that stuff. The better, the more comfortable you're going to feel. I think that consistency is huge, but yeah, it's all relative. I spend a lot of time on it, but it's because I do a lot. It doesn't have
Yeah,
to be that much, but you do what you can manage.
that's right.
Everyone can find a little bit of time to get some of this done.
And that's a good thing too. Like a lot of people, some inspectors are older, and they're like, "Well, I got a nephew. They be on TikTok and stuff, so I get them to do it." They don't do that side of TikTok. What they do is swipe through and look at videos. So we're talking about marketing here. So if you don't have business coming in, you're not a business. So I would not take that part and give it to somebody else. Even if you do later, at least start doing it in the beginning. That way you know how to do it and know how it's done. But to me, that's one part you really want to control and learn. If you're starting off, that's a good thing to learn. That way you know how to do it yourself and you're in control versus
Definitely.
hiring somebody to do that and all that
Well,
kind of
I mean, like it's like anything else. The thing is like whenever you pay. Yeah, obviously, when we're doing marketing, we're paying for marketing a lot, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, you could pay for like a realtor event and you might get a job out of that like 30, 60 days down the line. It pays for the event. Hopefully, it turns into some more jobs and, you can start building your business that way. But the whole idea of social media is it is free. Like it actually doesn't cost any money to do this. It just costs your time. And so, I really don't think it's a great idea, especially in the beginning, to hire somebody to edit this stuff. There are some people you can hire to film you, and that was another part of his question. Like,
Mhm.
does somebody film you? I've
Mhm.
had my wife present to film some long format stuff before. I've had one of my other inspectors come out to film some long format stuff before. On average, no, there's nobody
No.
filming my stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm very uncomfortable with it on as a whole. I really more or less I'd rather have a tripod and do it myself
Yeah.
than have somebody film me. That'd be a whole nother level of me get. I'm not Lily Jane, okay?
Right, right, right,
I've had
right,
some stuff with Lily
right.
too, right?
She used to
I mean,
that.
she was on the news, man.
Exactly.
If she says a word wrong, she just goes, "Okay, in three, two, one," and she
Uh,
just starts right over, like she's just good to go. Like I'm not like that, you know.
right,
It's really funny because I'm really funny. I'm really comfortable in front of the camera, and then I get around somebody like that that's just like a absolute rock star in front of the camera, and it
right.
makes me feel like an amateur, and I am an
Exactly.
amateur, but that's
Right,
okay,
right.
you know. One thing, Sean Mizell, my buddy, what's up, Sean? He says, "How do you balance long format and short form content?" I'm going to take that one because I'm not sure you do much long form.
Mhm.
You don't do any long videos, do you?
No, I'm getting more into it now, but yeah, a little bit.
I've been dabbling in it for a couple of years now. How do I balance it? Well, that's all batched too, but I mean, there's a couple of ways. And actually, me and Sean were having a conversation very similarly on this not too long ago. And maybe that's why I just want to talk about it. But so I post about one long format video a week. So the frequency is much, much less, right? And sometimes it's an inspection, sometimes it's a DIY project, sometimes it's some type of experiment I'm doing around the house to kind of showcase something. Um, Sometimes it's a product, like a company that wants me to come out and view a product. So it's all over the place. It's not all just home inspection, home inspection, home inspection. Most of it is. Um, and so I batch that out because it's tough. It takes a lot more editing. And so, I'll go into a house and, if I can find the right house, I film myself doing 30 minutes and then boom. Like I got like two left I need to uh, um, post like I need to edit them and put them together. But I also, uh, in order to keep that wheel moving, I batch together short content
Mm.
and I'll compile it together to kind of keep those videos going. So that goes in between there. So I don't have to just go out there and film one every single week because that's honestly hard. I got to find the right house to be able to do it on.
Oh
And
yeah.
when I find it, I just take advantage of it and I go with it. It makes me late. It makes me puts me way behind schedule, but I get it done.
Well, let's.
And finding the time to edit that's actually hard.
Mhm.
But I mean, really and truly, I post short form all the time, long format once a week. I have, and this is what me and Sean talked about. I have started to use a app which I pay for that chops up my short content into smaller pieces of content.
Mhm.
That's something I really just started doing, but I'm actually really enjoying that. And that's a way that you can make one big piece of content and then chop it up to have little pieces that you can kind of pepper out through there, and that can really kind of fill your week in terms of consistency.
Right. Let's talk about that. So he said sometimes it takes longer, like a
Yeah.
long time. Let's to talk about that, your time there. If you find something that's big, I don't care. Me and Matt talked about this before. I don't care what's coming up or what I got to do. We gonna shoot that content.
There's times, yeah.
Yes, we are because it's the same thing. Like if you was going to a realtor office and you got the big realtor doing everything, doing a lot of transactions. You're trying to get that realtor because you're going to get a lot of transactions. If you shoot this content right with this big fine, that one content is going to give you a lot of business.
Yes.
So the time that you would take normally going to a realtor office, lunch and learn, paying that kind of things. Now this time is here. You're already at the house. You're already there, and you shoot that content, and that gives you so much business, and it stays out there. And that's another thing. A lot of people want to go viral and all that kind of stuff. You want a catalog
Yeah.
because what happens when you scrolling through, you see a good video of somebody, you say, "Oh," before you hit follow, you go to their page and see what else they got. And so if you don't have nothing on there, then you don't have a catalog. So you want to build that catalog
Yep.
with a lot of videos, and therefore that helps you get business and it also helps you get followers too.
There was an inspector not too long ago. I can't remember who it was, but he put out, it was a couple years ago, I think now, put out a video that was just bomber, just great. And
Hmm.
like, I mean, he got millions of views, and I've been there, right? Like where like,
Hmm.
and he had a page with like not no followers, and all of a sudden like boom, he just
Boom.
blew up, and like everyone was seeing this video. It's just I can't remember even what it was now, but it's a fantastic video. I think I even messaged him. Um, but like you could tell by his page, like he wasn't like he wasn't ever really trying to do this.
Right.
He wasn't trying to. So I know when it blew up for me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna steer this ship. Okay. I have done marketing before. I've been making videos for years. Nobody's been paying attention. Now you are. I got an audience. Here you go. I got ideas and let's
Oh
go.
yeah.
This guy made a video. It was killer. And he had nothing to back it
Yes.
up and really nothing on his page. He just got really, really lucky. And the thing is he got a ton of followers off of that, but they all kind of fizzled away because he didn't know how to deal with that. He didn't have anything to back it up. You need that catalog.
Oh
You
yeah.
need material. And doesn't not everything has to be golden. Not
Mhm.
everything has to be viral
Mhm.
or a hit, you know. I have great videos that I thought were going to do really good and they got, you know, a low amount of views in comparison to some others. That's okay.
Oh yeah.
Because it's still informative and they still get comments and people
That's
still learn from them.
Dude, a
You
lot of
just
times we don't even we
what's that? Oh, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if Trey can hear me, but all of a sudden he's frozen. I'm gonna keep this wheel turning because I can't. Oh, there he is.
okay.
Okay,
Okay.
he's back. He's back.
Okay.
What would you say?
I said a lot of times I don't even know videos that's real good. So we'll shoot it and then I go through and post and I'll be like, it's okay. And then it does well. And some of the videos you think that's gonna do well don't do that great. So you don't even know yourself.
Preston Kincaid wants to know how does an inspector grow a thick, luscious beard like yours? He must be talking to you.
No, I think you don't need to.
You know, I'm gonna say it's a hefty diet of burgers and bourbon. And then you know the occasional Christmas tree cake. And so yeah, that's what I'm going to say. That's the best way to do that. Let's see here. What else do we have? Okay. This person says, "Don't see many realtor collabs with you. What are your thoughts on realtor collaborations?" Um, you got any ideas there? Any thoughts on that?
I, so my business, through social media is coming direct to the customer, the client. And so a lot of times, and then I do new construction. So a lot of times they don't even have
Yeah.
This is something for the inspectors. A lot of times, they don't even have realtors.
Right.
A good majority of the inspections for new construction do not have realtors.
Boy, they rely on us a lot when they don't have a realtor, don't they?
Oh yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
like increases our
But I'm saying that to press the point where a lot of people are like, well, I get a realtor. Now, how come I can't get new construction or whatever like that? Because they going into them office, sales office, and they not bringing the realtor. So I don't really have a lot of that interaction with them. In a way,
so for me, I've made a couple of videos with realtors. It's few and far between. I did a couple of, and I need to do it again. I've done a couple of uh, series with Lily Jang, but
hmm.
she's different level. she's,
Oh yeah,
she's
oh
on the
yeah,
news, you know.
oh
it's,
yeah,
it's
oh yeah,
different. But I mean, like, the thing is, really, I, you know, I would like to do more videos with Trey. But
yeah.
me and him, neither one of us got the time to go organize that. I got to figure out a time when I'm available and he's available and we got a house that we can both be at. And like, that's just a tough thing to coordinate. It's the same with
Hmm.
realtors. Honestly, any realtor that I would like to film with is busy.
Yeah.
They got a lot going on. And furthermore, kind of like when I was talking about, I'm gonna use Lily as another example on this too. When I'm on camera with Lily, she's super comfortable to the point where it makes me feel like I'm uncomfortable. I'm not, but
Right.
I'm like, man, she's just so smooth. Well,
Right.
a good majority of people, period, don't really feel that comfortable on camera, and so it becomes this weird thing where I have to kind of steer that ship. I have to guide them a little bit, which I don't mind doing. I've even done it with some clients before. I've had some clients and some videos. It's kind of fun, but I mean, like, yeah, it's not that often because you really just have to have somebody that you really click with,
No, yeah.
and it's hard to find that person, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I agree. I These days I'm doing more business with the general public than anything realtor
Right.
referral related anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we have here? You got any topics that you have, like,
I wanna touch on
go
something.
for it. I'm gonna read some of these comments real quick.
Okay. So before I started social media, as an inspector, you will have days, you got good days and bad days. And when you go to a house and you look up the door like, it's gonna be a day. It's gonna be a bad day. It's gonna be a long inspection. So basically, there are houses that are tougher than others. And so with that, you just kind of back then you just, hey, it is what it is. You just got to go through it and do what you got to do. Now with social media, that you make, I say you make lemonade. That's lemons. Now I'm about to make some lemonade. But
Yep.
because this house is so bad, because these things that I'm finding, I got great content now. And now that is going to give me more business. So, like I said before, you just had to take it, you know, but you can make a bad day a good day.
That's right. That's right. I like that. I like that.
Mhm.
I saw a comment on here. Somebody asked something. Uh, um, okay, this ties into one of the things that I'd written down here to talk about. How do you deal with trash talk on comments? All right.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
we got two different methods of doing that. And first of all, what I want to say before I talk about how I deal with it and how you deal with it, because they're polar opposites. Um, First of all, I want to say that, like, I'm going to go back to what we were talking about before. In the beginning, you're
In the
your worst critic.
beginning.
Anybody that's paying attention to your stuff when you first start making content is somebody that's going to be super supportive. Okay, so you can be uncomfortable, you can stutter, you can say, "See, I stuttered before I even said that." You do whatever you can be as uncomfortable until you get comfortable, and it's okay because you're your worst critic at that point. You hit post, and you can cringe, but the important
Mhm.
part is to hit post. Okay,
That's right.
and so you can cringe, and then eventually you won't be cringing anymore because you're going to find your lane, and you're going to be like, okay, this is how I want to be. This is where I want to be. And until you figure that out, you're not really going to gain a ton of traction. Or you might, I don't know, but usually you won't. When the comments start coming in, when the hateful comments start coming in, the trolls, as we like to call them, buckle up because that's a sign of success. Okay. That means that you have started to do something right. Once you get there, that means you are now people are seeing what you're doing. A lot of people are seeing what you're doing and it's working. And so now how do you deal with it? I was not prepared. I was not prepared. And I was not wired for it. I was not prepared for it. So when the hateful comments started to come in, I was guns blazing. I mean, I was fighting everybody that would say anything.
Mm,
I still do to some degree, but most of it now, like I mean, I was hot back then. Like now, I've cooled off a lot. So most of it is like uh I do it to push engagement and to poke the bear a little bit. And like
mhm,
I kind of I actually really kind of miss it. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean not because there was a time where it caused me a lot of stress. And I did stress out about it, but I learned to deal with that. And then, but it's like whenever that was going on, it's when a lot of growth was happening, and like every day was something new on the internet, you know. And so I literally, there was a time where I used to reply to every single comment that came in. I mean, I took the time to sit there and it was time consuming, but I would reply to every single comment. And I got into some arguments. Some of those people that I got in arguments with, we became friends later because, you know, whatever, I proved them wrong, they proved me wrong, whatever. And we just call it what it is. I also would like to say that, like, before we get on to how you deal with this, I have been wrong. I'm going to be wrong again, but I have learned a lot from mistakes and even mistakes that I hit post on. I'll put something out there sometimes and people go, actually, and there's some people that will call you a complete moron. I had a guy literally today call me a moron because I showed a loose neutral connected to a breaker. He said, moron, you can't have a neutral connected to a breaker. And I was like, that's an ironic statement right there because you most certainly can, right? Like that's AFCI breakers, GFCI. I mean, you
I
know,
got neutral now,
100% they
though.
got a neutral and it was loose and it was arcing. And he called me a moron, right?
Yeah.
Funniest thing that happened to me, it happened to me about 9 o'clock this morning. It's the funniest thing that happened all day. So, I mean, like, you know, it still happens. I still really enjoy it, but it's like they'll say that, but sometimes they'll be nice about it and they'll be like, hey, actually, this is how things are. And when they're nice about it and when they're informative about it, I have walked away, even though I hit post and I said something that maybe wasn't quite accurate. I've walked away and learned a ton from it. So I've learned a lot from stuff that I post, which is you know, kind of a unique perspective. But let's
Okay.
talk about how you deal with those haters and trolls, Trey, because it's a little different.
Yeah. Again, from the beginning, I used to respond in the beginning. And I look at it's kind of one of the things you say. They say don't fight with somebody that's stupid or crazy because it's hard to figure out which one is.
It's true.
So yeah, so it's one of them things. So I looked at myself and saw myself like, what am I mad about? The person I don't even know. I don't, and so I stopped. And so now, and really, the engagement when people do that is a comment, which is pushing your video engagement, all that kind of stuff. And so now the following is built so much, and I tell everybody I got 3 kids, 3 babies at the house. Like my wife, she thinks it's enough of me doing content. She definitely don't want me coming home responding. And so now I got kids and stuff, and you know what I mean?
You got to
So
put it down.
to tell you the truth, like I don't even read all the comments. I don't even read that many of them. I just don't have time to engage and respond. But now I have what Beyonce the Beehive they call it the Beehive Beyonce. I got people that go in there and they do it for me. So
Yeah, yeah. That's really good whenever people go into your defense. They did that on that moron comment earlier.
oh yeah,
Got a bunch of electricians who were like, no, actually, and they were sending like data and stuff. It was great.
right,
I went
right.
on there later and talked about how ironic it was, but yeah, I mean, I love it, Trey. Just I go in guns blazing still to this day, but it's more intentional now, and it's not like emotionally driven.
Right.
Trey just that doesn't do it.
I know
Like, we have
that.
two more opposite ways, and neither one of them are wrong necessarily. I do think
Mm,
that if you're trying to build, I think engaging with your following is a good way to build your following, your follower
Yeah,
base. I
if
do
you
think.
can and got time, you should do it.
I had a good question come in. What was it? Uh, okay. This one's good. In early years, this is Jesse Lattimore. In early years doing home inspections, when you are not as busy, do you recommend creating a pipeline for these videos? This way you can be more consistent and engaging with posting social media. Yes, absolutely. I think as much build up as much as you can. And any if you watch any Instagram or social media coach at all, they will tell you to repost your content, and I do it. I've reposted things. I know you have because I've seen yours before. This is the There's one thing I heard. I love it. I'm going to stick. I stick to this. We get concerned about reposting stuff that we've already posted. Well, I'm not going to do it next week. I'm not going to do it next month. But 3 or 4 months, 6 months down the line, so even a year ago, I'll grab stuff sometimes and repost it. Why? Because most of the people that are only a fraction of your audience and only a fraction, a very very small fraction of the people out there are going to see it anyway.
Right.
And that's not usually going to be the same. And whenever you're posting to your people that like actually enjoy your content, it's like when your favorite TV show, your favorite movie comes on, do you turn the channel because you like, oh, I've seen that before?
Mm-mm.
No, you watch it again because you loved it. And
Mhm.
so don't be afraid to repost the stuff. And that's a really good way to keep that content, that pipeline going.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Every house you do, you should at least shoot one in the beginning. At
Yep.
least shoot one.
That's a good strategy. That's a great
At
strategy.
least.
I think I see AJ here, so I feel like we're towards the end of this here, and I want to. There's a couple of points. I don't know if you got a couple, but I certainly want to make a couple before we wrap things up. I want to go back to the beginning, and I want to talk about consistency, consistency, consistency. Okay,
Mhm.
it's about you got to start. You have to, just like Trey said, hit record and then hit post. Okay.
Mhm.
Get the content out there. Okay. Authenticity is as important as anything else. So being yourself in front of the camera, whatever that is and whatever that looks like, that is going to come through, and that's what's going to make people want to continue to follow you. Look, not everyone's going to like you. Okay. Not everyone likes me, and I'm okay with that. But you'll ultimately be more successful if you are not trying to please everybody, and you're just trying to please the people that maybe would relate to you. So those two things for sure. Also, I feel like I have to say this: like, you don't have to have a tagline. I mean, like it's cool. You can have a tagline. It's cool. You have I mean, it's great. Trey's got like 3 taglines now. That's fantastic. But you don't have to have a tagline. It's all
Mhm.
good. And again, it comes with authenticity. Trey, we've talked about this. Trey didn't like. He didn't go. He didn't just like say, "I'm going to say new construction." He didn't. He didn't
Mm-mm.
decide. He just said it.
Yeah, to
Okay.
this day, I don't know when that started. I don't know what happened. It's just something that came out, and I just kind of stuck to it.
The people chose that. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing is whenever you're authentic and you're being yourself, those type of things will come out. If you're trying to force it, it's probably not going to work.
Mhm. Mhm. So yeah, I would say in closing that everybody, if you look at the social media platforms and be like, oh, it's too hard now, it's too hard. Right now is the easiest time for you. It's gonna get harder later. It's gonna get harder tomorrow. There's more people out there, more people doing it. So right now is the easiest time. If you wait 10 years from now or 2 years from now, it's gonna be harder, right?
That's true.
So you just start now. Don't worry
Today's the day.
about, yeah, don't worry about people out there. Oh, that's nothing I want to say. When you like in the beginning, you do a video like 200 views. How many times did you go to a realtor office and do a lunch learn? There's 200 people in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Like never.
200
Yeah.
people saw your video, and you're like, "That's bad." No, that's 200 people.
Yep.
So that's a good bit of people. So we always look at the numbers and be like, "Oh, there's not that many." No, that's good. So you keep doing it, and it'll keep growing.
Yep. Yeah. And somebody asked about monetization. Like the thing is, like this video really isn't about monetization. It's about marketing yourself on social media. If you're looking to
Mhm.
monetize social media, that's a completely different monster. Okay,
Mhm.
like we can answer those questions in another conversation. But really, what we're talking about is marketing yourself to increase your business
Increase
and
your
how
business.
easy it really is. I know that some of the things that we're saying sound like it's easy and simple. It's because honestly, really, it is. If you want to be social media famous, you want to blow up and go viral. Look, I don't know what to tell you, man. You know, some of the videos that I had that did that, I didn't intend for it to go that
Right.
way.
No.
And if you intend for it to, it's probably not going to happen. The more successful stuff I had was accidental. But the important thing is, if you take anything away from this, Trey said it best: press record, press post.
You're welcome.
That's right.
That is right. And it's supposed to do that. You're supposed to hit the
There you go. There you go.
yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us here. There's a lot of interaction here. I know I didn't get to everybody's question, but I really appreciate everybody tuning in and checking out this webinar today. And I hope you got something out of it. Let
Yeah,
us
I
know
hope so. I hope so. Maybe we can do it again if it's more topics that you guys want to touch. But yeah, the main thing, we just want you guys to know that it can really impact your business and
for
you
sure.
should do it. Start doing it so you can learn.